今はお前に聞いてるんだ。教えてくれ。ねえ、教えてくれる？ちょっと教えなさいよ。ねえ、教えてください。教えてくれます
か？I think I start off most of my videos with me yawning just because I'm always so tired, either work or I don't know, I just get tired. But it's been a year. Like, I find it really hard to believe that it's been a whole year since the Quintessential Quintuplets film came out, like December 2nd, 2022. And I'm not saying that just because like the film came out. No, the film actually came out like in May of 2022, but it released here in the US in December 2nd of 2022, like nationwide. It released after being delayed for so long. We finally got a release for it, and I still remember like seeing everyone online being super hyped for it. I remember like hyping up the film and like going along with the trend, like, oh hey, if you're gonna watch this film, you should dress up in like a wedding suit, just because it's a wedding film, so you gotta show up to the movie theater in a suit, which I actually did. Most of my other friends actually ended up doing, and to me this is one of those series that's like kind of special to me, just because I met most of my friends through this series. Like, we all got along, we all talked about, oh hey, who's best girl, who's your favorite girl. For me, it was Itsuki, just because she's like the first one that's introduced. I really like her, she's really cool character. My friend likes Nino. Nino's not my favorite. I don't really like the snake one, Ichika. Yotsuba, yeah, she's pretty cool, Gotsuba. And then you got what, Miku, everyone's favorite for some reason. She's kind of overrated in my opinion, but that's just me. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, trying not to talk about who the best girl is. But yeah, I met most of my friends through this series, so like I said, it kind of holds a special place like to me as like an anime series. But the film, let's talk about it just a bit. It's been like a year, like I said. It's crazy how time flies by. I didn't even know, like, it came out a year ago here in the US, which honestly is insane to me. The film itself, I think it's a pretty incredible film. Like, it's pretty enjoyable. Is it the best anime film I have ever seen? No, it's by far from the best, but it is a pretty enjoyable series, as I must admit. Like, to me, is this top 10 romance anime? Possibly. I have to check my list, but yeah, I would consider like top 10. Yes, because it's a pretty good show. Like, if you watch the first 2 seasons and then you watch the movie, it is pretty good. My only downside, my only regret, or one of the major complaints I have about this film, is the fact that there was so much like crammed into this film that it just kind of left out a lot of source material. And like, it could have easily been like a 3rd season. And earlier this year in 2023 in the summer, we got 2 special OVAs like showing extra scenes from The Mist season 2, which didn't really make much sense to me. They were really milking this series just to make like 2 extra OVAs after they said, oh, this film is going to be the final film, nothing else is going to come out of it, which to me absolutely makes no sense. Like, this entire like film really could have been split into like another season, like 12-13 episodes, including the OVAs just put together. It would have easily made for like a super satisfying conclusion. But regardless, we got the film, and the film itself, it's pretty good. I do like the art style. I do like how the film portrays like each character, like trying to find their journey. Like, you get the point. If you have seen the show, you know that it's mostly about the girls trying to like fall for Futaro, and then like ultimately them trying to confess their love for him. But in the film, it's portrayed that Yotsuba is actually the promised girl that Futaro made like a few years back, and she ultimately gets with him. And we have like this beautiful scene in the movie where like it's all of them gathered up together, and then they go to the wedding, and then all of them essentially get married to Futaro, because they all are basically identical. So like, if one marries him, they're all marrying each other. So like, in the end, everyone wins, which to me feels like a pretty satisfying conclusion. I myself, did I like the ending, like Yotsuba winning? Yeah, I didn't really mind her. She is a pretty cool character. It's like everyone calls her Gotsuba. I still think she's a pretty cool character. Would I have preferred like any other girls to win? Yeah. For me, I would have preferred Itsuki to win just because she's best girl, but that's just me. Miku, nah. But if you do want like alternate endings to this movie, there is a video game series called Quintessential Quintuplets Final Movie Game. There's something like that. I know there's a game that like where you can click alternate routes to the story. I haven't really played it too much. I know it's like a Japanese exclusive. One of my friends like showed me a video about it, but I gotta look more into that. If you want to look more into alternate endings, you can. But as far as the film goes, I think it's a pretty satisfying conclusion to all the characters' journey towards all the progress that they made from the beginning of season 1 to the end of this film, including the OVAs. It's not that bad. I generally just wish, and most people will agree with me, that this film should have been like a whole season. Just being crammed into a 2-hour film didn't really seem right to me, but because certain times of the film, it did feel like stuff was like kind of cramped or rushed out for time, which would have been better for a whole season, like 13 to 20 episodes, whatever the case is. But overall, I am satisfied with how the movie is, and looking back at it now, you could probably just watch the film just overall and pretty much enjoy without having watched the first 2 seasons. Yes, you really should watch the first 2 seasons, then the OVAs, and then just jump into the film. But that being said, it is a pretty solid film. The music, the animation, as far as the characters, you really got to see more of the characters progress. But more than anything, you got to see Yotsuba played out. You got to see her story fleshed out, kind of. The only downside, like I said, like, the movie, instead of being a movie, could have been like a whole season dedicated to Yotsuba, showing more and more of her, which is what the OVAs generally did a pretty good job at, like showing Yotsuba and her character background, her character motivations. But to me, it would have been much better if it was just a whole season. But regardless, should you watch the film? Yeah. Is it still enjoyable 1 year later? Yeah, it is a pretty good film. Looking back at it now, I very much enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed seeing the hype for this film and everything built up to it, because it was pretty fun. It was such a fun time. Like, to me, it honestly felt like the end of an era, like a whole series that like brought everyone together, and then it ended just like, I don't know, man. I don't think we'll ever have another like show like this, like another anime that like brings everyone together. Romance anime wise, yeah, I don't really think we'll have anything kind of like this. Maybe the Bunny Girls series, but even that to me is not as popular, or it's not as good. Like, it did not bring joy as much as to the community as much as this film does. But with that being said, that's just my thoughts on the Quintessential Quintuplets film 1 year later. It's a really solid film. I really enjoyed the film for what it is, and going to the theaters, like experiencing it with like people around you. That is something you can never re-experience, like watching it like in person. So yes, I really wish I could go back in time and just re-experience going to the movies dressed up and seeing like the whole audience like enjoying, clapping their hands, cheering, laughing. It's an experience you really won't get like with too many films nowadays. But with this one, it was good. It was good. Just 1 year later, I enjoy it. It warms my heart thinking about the film. But with that being said, did you guys like the film? Do you agree with me? It should have been a season rather than a movie. But anyways, that being said, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to watch my review from like a year ago. It's kind of old, but let me know. And who is your favorite girl? Itsuki, Miku, Nino, I forgot their names, but you get the point. I'll see you.